Hey, 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 we are back. Guess what day it is? We are on day 10 of our 21-day live stream challenge. It is a Wellness Wednesday and a Wealth Building Wednesday. And by now, if you're not new to me, you know that we're doing our daily dose of vitamin D3. So I have a good dose for you today as we think about wellness and wealth building on this Wednesday. So the title of this live stream is Your Network is Your Net Worth. Okay, building valuable connections for business and life. And oftentimes we don't think about, and I know that sounds so cliche, right? Your net work is your net worth. We've heard it 1,000 times, but it really is true. And there's so much to be said about that. So I have a question for you. I want to know, do you measure your wealth by your bank account or by the strength of your relationships? Do you measure your wealth by what's in your bank account or by the strength of your relationships? Boom. That's a really good question, right? Have you considered that? I want you to give that some thought right now because we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about how and why your net worth is your net worth. And as I am sipping on my yummy tea on this Wellness Wednesday, it is all things yummy and goodness inside of this cup, okay? And even though it's a Starbucks cup, this is really my own concoction, okay? So I am in the holiday spirits. I hope you are too, but I really want to get into it because you came for your dose, so let me go ahead and give it to you. I think this is going to be an easier pill to swallow, and you're going to really be happy about, the information because you can take this and run with it like as soon as today. And I'm going to give you some real life examples, some examples that actually happen in real time, okay, as of today. So I'm going to give you a fresh perspective on how I feel about your net worth being your net worth. All right. So number one, like I was saying earlier, people don't really think so much about building relationships as a part of their wellness regimen, right? People, that doesn't even connect for people in the mind. But the reality is, it is one and the same. Like everybody who is a business owner, the women in particular who I cater to and serve, you need to be making sure that the two coexist in your world, in your business world, okay? Because this is a great way for you to evolve in business and in life. So building genuine relationships really does impact both your wellness and your wealth. And so it's more than just about connecting with people and getting contacts, right? And going out to networking events and social engagements and then gathering all of this, information from people and connecting with people in real time, but then there's no follow-up afterwards. And if you didn't know, if you've never heard, the fortune is really and truly in the follow-up. Okay? So many times people go to these networking functions and these social engagements and so forth, and everybody's excited in the moment, and they're handing out their business cards and they're getting to know each other and they're doing a round of networking and they're going over here and talking to this person and over here to this person and that person and the other person. And before you know it, you've collected all of this information. You may even find one or two people that you hit it off with, but you leave that event, you're excited in the moment, you leave that event, and then life gets busy, business gets busy, and in the busyness of our days, we kind of get lost in the sauce of that, right? And so what happens is we oftentimes miss the opportunity because we don't circle back and revisit those connections we already made. So we've collected all of these cards, right? Be it digital or, the actual hard copy cards. Those still do exist, by the way, at least as of now. And, but we don't ever go back to, follow up and have a conversation with those individuals. And when we go to these networking functions, oftentimes we don't realize that we should be offering something of value to the people we meet, not necessarily looking for what we can get from that, you know, it's a two-way relationship. But where people go wrong is they oftentimes look for what's in it for me, not so much what I can do for them. Okay, that is a whole bar. Okay, seriously, that is one of the best tips I can give you when it comes to networking and connecting and collaborating with people. So it's more than just collecting cards and getting in front of people and having a conversation and then leaving empty-handed, pretty much, right? And I say that because what's the point of collecting all of the contacts, getting everybody's phone number and contact information, email addresses and all that, if you're not going to do anything with it? You might as well have left empty-handed, right? So what we want to do is create a supportive community, right? So that we can have the opportunities and the emotional support that we need along our entrepreneurial journey that oftentimes doesn't exist if you don't go out and look for it, right? If you don't go out and be a part of it. Like, it doesn't just come to your door and knock on your door, right? No more than an opportunity does. Those opportunities, those business partnerships, those collaborations, those joint venture partnerships with different brands, those affiliations that you're looking for are key to your success, but they don't happen by osmosis, right? So you've got to go out and find it. You've got to seek the opportunity so that you can be a part of whatever's going on in the community and start getting heavily involved and connecting with the key players who are in the community, who are already tapped in, so that you can get plugged in to others within their network. Okay, so that's how your network really grows, is that you start with a small circle of people that you're connected to or that you get connected with, and then the more people you meet, the more people you're introduced to, the more rooms you're invited in that you wouldn't otherwise be privy to, right? You would be able to have access to opportunities that you wouldn't otherwise have access to, and there begins your network growing and growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, so the value of relationships, I cannot stress enough, is really immeasurable, because from a wellness standpoint, nurturing relationships really does reduce stress. It provides inspiration and motivation, because sometimes on this entrepreneurial journey, you really can feel alone, especially because we have the tendency to work in silos. So when we're isolating ourselves and just in the weeds of our business, we look up and we're like, wow, there's so much time has passed, and yet I've not done anything to really get myself involved with and connected to other people who can help me move along faster. And that's another thing. The people that you connect with, who introduces you to other people, and even those individuals themselves, you'd be surprised how many times the opportunities that present itself are the very ones that you were searching for, wishing for, hoping for, praying for, and that you didn't even know did exist in the first place, right? So I want to say this because this is important too. You want to make sure that you are connecting with people who actually are in alignment with your core values. Okay? People who have similar or the same goals that you do. People who are on the journey of, they have some of the same aspirations and dreams that you do. People who are multi-talented, multi-passionate, multi-faceted individuals. Okay? And if they don't align with your core values, then those aren't the people you want to get connected with. Okay? I'm telling you, don't learn the hard way like I have had to. Understand what your core values are first, so that everything you do, every decision you make, every action you take will be in alignment with that. Let that be the driver of your decisions in both business and in life. Okay? So I want to just share a quick personal story. And really, like I said in the beginning, I alluded to this earlier. This is going to be something that actually happened today as an example that I can give to you for, even more inspiration and motivation as to what actually happened for me today. Okay, because the universe is always listening, and God will always align the right people, the right events, the right circumstances, the right places, the right things, right? In the right order, in perfect timing and divine order, because I don't believe in luck and coincidence. I don't personally believe in that. But I do believe in blessings. And I do believe that the universe is always listening. And I do believe that you can manifest in your life anything you desire, right? But you have to believe with everything that you have within you. You have to trust the process, pray through the process, and do the work. Because as they say, faith without works is dead, right? Gonna roll that up for a minute because there's someone beside me trying to get past. So you understand what I'm saying? So that has to be your priority. Okay? So here's the thing. Today, well, let me start here. About, I want to say a month or so ago, I reached out. I did some cold outreach. Okay? Because this is what I'm great at. I'm great at connecting and building relationships. That's my jam. Okay? So I reached out to several individuals, key players, companies, organizations that were in alignment with my philosophies and my belief. I did the research myself. I went on to each of their websites and their social media accounts to make sure that their core values were in alignment with my own, and to look at and review their mission, their vision, and their values to make sure they were also aligned with my own. Okay, once I did that and confirmed that was true, then I went I sent out an email. I found their contact information, which is typically at the bottom of the page of their website or on their social media accounts, or sometimes in the about section. You just got to search around and find it. And once I found it, I sent an email first. Okay, not a phone call, an email. When I sent the email to these various individuals and organizations, I outlined something unique, something different for each one of those. I didn't want like a cookie cutter approach. I'm not about that. I want to make sure that I am literally speaking to whatever their mission, vision, and values are, and whatever their goals are for their company, and what their initiatives are for the community. And then I think to myself, okay, how can I apply or inject my knowledge, my skill set, my background, my God-given gifts and talent? What can I do to support them, right? How can I be of value to them? So when I reached out by email, I considered that. And I made note of, okay, this particular organization is working on this. This particular organization is about this. This particular organization, this is their mission. This is their vision. This is their, thing. So, and I just pretty much introduced myself, who I am, what I'm about, who I serve, right? What I do, who I can help, how I can support, and, maybe shared a little brief story or scenario. And then I just plugged that in really quickly, and I sent these emails off to these the respective companies. I also reached out to individuals who I had already known, or who I at least met once, at some sort of social gathering, or, maybe we've met however it was we met in the past. I made sure to follow up with those individuals. And in those emails, I made sure that I said something that was special about when I met them, a conversation we had, a particular outfit that they were wearing, a special, a story they shared with me that might have been personal. Like, I wanted to make it personal, right? I personalized it to them. And so what I had done at that point is, you wait, right? You wait for their response. You give it a couple of weeks because people are busy. And then you can send another follow-up email if you hadn't heard back. And if you hadn't heard back by the second time, you can do a phone call by then. I didn't even have to make a phone call because I got a response from more than half. I want to say probably all except maybe 2 or 3 people I'm still waiting for to contact me, to tell me how impressed they were in the way in which I approached them, how I introduced myself, how I shared my personal journey and story, how I, how I aligned with what they got going on, how I asked in what way I can be supportive. And so they reached out immediately. We ended up, setting up, arranging a date and time that was mutually convenient for the both of us, where we met via Zoom, right? Video conference. Once we did sort of a virtual face-to-face meeting, now I'm invited to come and meet them in person if they're local. And even if they're not, if it aligns with the date that I'm going to be traveling anyway in that particular area, then I will make arrangements to meet with them. But most of them are local. And so now we have the opportunity in person, because we've already discussed, we've already explored options. We put that out on the table first thing. I came up with some ideas and some suggestions, and they came up with some. And so we are now working on, collaborative opportunities, right? To do joint venture partnerships. And so just that fast, within less than 30 days, I already am now plugged in with like 12 to 15, maybe 20. I can't remember the exact count, but somewhere around there, where I have new connections, and they have already sent out emails to introduce me to more people. When I get invited to, meet with them in person, I'll be meeting with other key players, and they already are sharing with me different events they have coming up, different webinars they have, like virtual events, in-person events, workshop, master classes, webinars, different things going on in the community, initiatives and projects that they're starting that they'd love for me to be a part of because of my educational background, my skill set, and all that I have to offer, and the work that I do today with the marginalized communities that I work with, because those are the population of people I serve, right? So I work with women over 40, Gen Xers, predominantly, exclusively women of color, and women in the LGBTQ plus communities. And so, and I've also plugged in with people who are like women who's trying to start their lives over because they are in like a domestic, they're domestic violence survivors, or they were, I don't know if I can say this online anymore because you got to be so careful, but they were SA'd, sexually assaulted. I think I can safely say that at one point in time. So they are starting their lives over, right? And I, having had, similar traumas and experiences in my past, want to talk to those women because it's good for me to share with women how I got past that, how I healed through that, right? Because you don't really get past it, you heal through it. And that is what I teach the women that I work with, is how to transition out of a job that no longer serves them, or a toxic job or a hostile work environment that they might be in. If there are any legal implications, we can discuss that too, because I do have a legal background. And I also incorporate as a nurse, as an RN, a holistic business coach, and an RN health and wellness educator. It's important for me that the women I work with are prioritizing their health, their healing, and their happiness. So this all, is full circle for me. This is a full circle moment. So today I met with, that lemon in there tastes so good, lemon and ginger. Today I met with a woman who, there was so much synergy there. The excitement on the call between the two of us was like outrageous. But we were so excited because I reconnected. I've been very intentional about connecting this year, okay? So I connected, and I'll make this short, with someone that I had met some time ago last year. Went down to her facility. We did a tour. We talked about getting together. It never happened because life kept lifing and business kept businessing, okay? So we just never really had the time. So this was a good opportunity for us to kind of circle back, and we made time to get together like the very next week. She reached out to me immediately, responding to my email, okay? So I reached out first, follow up, okay? She invited me down. We had tea and conversation, and before you know it, she was like, you know who you'd be a good fit, a great match for? And so she gave me a card of someone who was a women's empowerment coach, and she's a real big name in the community. I'd never heard of her. I wasn't familiar with her work. So I took the card, and she introduced me and this women's empowerment coach to each other by way of email. We connected on LinkedIn. From there, we got on a Zoom call today, and we spoke for maybe 30-40 minutes tops. And oh my gosh, the excitement, because there was so much. It was like we were one and the same. Literally, we are on the same journey, doing the same things, but we didn't even know each other. We've never met. And so now, next week, a week from today, actually, we'll be partnering, we'll be meeting and talking about all the ways that we can collaborate together, and initiatives we started and projects we're working on, and corporate contracts that we are looking, to working with, different corporate people in the corporate arena, like connecting with these individuals and potentially getting a contract, and workshops and webinars and speaking engagements. We're both writing she's written like 3 books. I've only written 1, but I'm on my 2nd book. And she's written a couple of bestsellers. I've written a bestseller. I anticipate this next book will be a New York Times and an international bestseller. Like, there are just so many things that we had alike, and we both are women of faith. We both work with the same types of, the same population of people. It was so exciting because, what are the odds, right? But it all started with me reaching out to someone we were mutually connected to. It all started with me sending out that email, right? Sending out those emails, multiple, and then them getting in touch with me, and then us following up with each other, having ongoing communication. And now I'm like getting ready to be doing all of these wonderful things. So talk about yet ending the year with a big bang and going into a new year with an even bigger bang. But this is how you manifest your dreams. So you hear that, yes, I've been praying and committed to the process and committed to my transformation and all of that. And that's how it should be. But it's not without work, okay? You have to do the work. So how can you connect with people in your network that you haven't made time for, that you haven't, those conversations that you haven't revisited, those cards and contacts that you once collected but didn't do anything with them? Can you do one thing today? One thing that will connect you to the right people so that you can start building your network and ultimately building your net worth. Okay? So that is what I want to hold you accountable for doing today. It's my challenge to you. All right? I am challenging you to build a network of people and a community that lifts you up towards success. Okay? Because you would just be surprised. You would not know that those individuals are looking for you too. But sometimes you've got to be the first to reach out. It could be cold outreach like I did. It can be warm leads that you already have, but you definitely know people right now. Even if you think that you have a small limited circle, you know more people than you think. Sit down. If nothing else, just take some time, sit down and write a list of all the people you know. I don't care if it's family, friends, colleagues, co-workers. You don't got to tell your co-workers what you're up to necessarily, but just unless they're doing something similar to you, okay, and you guys have kind of talked offline about it. But just think about all of the people that you're in contact with every day, your dentist's office, your doctor's office, other providers and specialists you may see, people at the gym that you may work out with, people at your church, people in your kids' schools, okay? Like, there is so many businesses in your community, people, businesses that surround you, right? Go in and just have a conversation. And I don't mean just any random business, but I just mean selectively, right? Like, select at least 5 to 10 businesses that, go on to their website, look up what they're about, see if their mission, vision, and value is in alignment with your own, if their core values are in alignment with your own, and go in and talk to those people. Call them on the phone, send an email, do something, one thing for yourself so that you can start building yourself up in this way. This is, aside from hiring a business coach, I promise you, this is the fastest way, the shortest path to your success. If you're looking for a shortcut at all, okay, there's no overnight success story. I say that all the time, but there is a shorter way to success. And this is one of those ways. I promise you. I have done it time and time and time again, and it has never failed me. Okay, so again, I'm challenging you to reach out to one person today, or at least make a list of people, family members, friends, colleagues, coworkers, organizations, businesses, small businesses, big businesses, and come up with a list. Come up with a top 10, a top 20, a top 50, a top 100. And then go through that list and see who it is you can reach out to. Just take the leap of faith and just do it. Just get into action. And then come back and let me know who you decided to connect with or reconnect with and establish that relationship with, and what the outcome was. All right? So I hope that was helpful for you today, and that this daily dose has been valuable for you. I really want you to do this, because I'm telling you, I wouldn't be telling you anything that I'm not doing myself, that I'm not willing to do myself, or that I haven't already done. I'm only going to give you what's literally worked for me. And what I know, if you incorporate in your life and in your business, and you make this a daily practice, a daily habit, everything that you dream of, desire, and deserve, as long as you stay disciplined, deliberate, and determined to achieve it, everything you envision will come to pass. Everything you are working towards and striving for will come to pass. You just got to believe, hold on to unwavering faith, trust the process, get into action, and patiently wait to see what happens. And that is your daily dose of vitamin D3 today. So share this video out with others who need to hear it. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for joining me live, those of you who are here. I don't believe I have any questions today. Thank you for the compliment, Susan Hester, for saying I'm so pretty. Appreciate the compliment. I've never been told I sound like Kamala Harris, but I will take that as a compliment. And then some of these are just trolls that I'm going to ignore. But I appreciate the love, the hearts, the roses, and all things good. Thank you so much. And I wish you a beautiful and blessed day. Okay? Take care. I'll see you tomorrow for day 11. We're more than halfway there, folks. Okay? So I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Watch the replay if you didn't catch me in the beginning. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.